Be a station ID?
Yeah.
Hey, this is Dennis Leary. And you know what? You're watching MuchMusic, where you're not allowed to say things like can you say you're about to watch Bill's Best Of, and let me tell you something. If I'm not included in this next hour and a half, I'm coming back to Canada. I'm going to get Bill, and I'm going to hold him hostage in a bag in that Speaker's Corners booth, okay?
As Dennis said, yeah, this is some of my favorite stuff of the past year. We got video clips in here and also interview clips and favorite videos of the year. And I'm hoping you're going to tune in to watch because it was a great year, I think. I had a lot of fun here. What we're going to do is kick off with, I think, one of the greatest videos and greatest songs of this past year, the Foo Fighters with Everlong. Good video, huh? Very creative video. Monkey Wrench was a video based on a dream you had, and I find it interesting that Everlong also uses the concept of dreams as a theme. Is this a coincidence, or are you influenced a lot by dreams?
Well, it's a coincidence, but I think that dreams are pretty amazing. I think that if you have an active dream life, then you're psyched, you're set. Because in my dreams, I can tell when I'm dreaming and when I'm not dreaming. So there's some dreams where if I'm in a dream and I realize that I'm dreaming, I don't wake up, but I can do anything within my dream. So if I'm standing here and I realize that I was in a dream, I could sort of like jump up to the top of that thing and look down and make a car move with my mind or something like that. So there's a book called Lucid Dreaming that you should read because it sort of explains to people who have trouble in their dreams how to control them.
Rusty there on MuchMusic, and we're looking at some of my favorite stuff over the past year. And coming up right now, we're going to give you some stuff that reminds me of what happens when I hear questions from viewers. They say, Bill, what's the best part about working at MuchMusic? And I say, well, you know what, I'll tell you. I say, we have fine crews here at MuchMusic. That's a good part. Working here, we have nice people working here. Also, I think, and we have good audio people. Also, I think meeting viewers, that's always fun. Free CDs occasionally, that's not bad. And also, just being able to hook up with some of my favorite artists, including Aerosmith dropped by Much this past year. We hooked up with Oasis. But first, a little visit from Silverchair. Happened earlier this year. Here's a look. Come on. I think Frog Stomp went on to sell something like 3 million copies. And I know that you said you like Freak Show as an album much better than Frog Stomp. How come?
I think we played better on Freak Show, and I think the songs, because we were older when we wrote them, like, I think they were just better songs. Because we wrote, like, the songs on Frog Stomp when we were, like, 12, 13 or something. So we were kind of sick of them by the time we recorded them. Yeah, so they're just all, like, you know, fresh songs, so they're more fun to play.
Chris did that. I don't know what you did, but I'm going to be blaming you.
That was that little potty trick.
Good one, John, you.
It's pretty well straight ahead, unadulterated Aerosmith, which is good.
It's a guitar album. Get it back to the guitars.
Well,
and Steven gets to sing, too.
Your voice is amazing. There's pitches there that I haven't heard previously.
I think every record he starts to get a little more, you know, his octaves go up and his bottoms go lower, you know what I mean? It's cool.
Art shouldn't be overanalyzed. Art should just be appreciated. But, you know, I have to ask you,
Penises.
This is a bald cat.
I think you said it already, right?
A bald cat dancing on some 13 Cobras.
A bald female cat.
A bald female cat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the shaved kitty, we've just been trying to do that for years and get away with it. You know, we got.
And there you have it.
Just leave it at that.
Come on now. You care to comment?
No, not at all. Once again, the Shakespeare of salaciousness, I've heard.
Soliloquy.
I've heard. Great lyrics once again. A lot of favorites that I have. Falling in Love, My Old Libido Has Blowing a Transistor.
I feel like I have been hit.
What's your favorite lyric from the record?
You ain't that good as what you said down to the letter, but you like the way I hold the microphone. Sometimes I'm good, but when I'm bad, I'm even better. Don't give me no lip, I got enough of my own.
Yeah!
Sometimes I'm good, but when I'm bad, I'm even better. Don't give me no lip, I got enough of my own. Don't go away.
Was that maybe what sort of got the band the first deal? Was that confidence? You didn't need a manager, there was no tape involved.
Yeah,
it was confidence, wasn't it?
Just confidence in music. See, there's no point about you got to have music and all. You know what I mean? We sounded good and we had, you know, and everyone says, yeah, it was a bit of luck. I don't believe in luck, it's a lot of bollocks.
Noel said that even.
What?
Looking back, it was a lot of it had to do with luck.
I don't believe that. You're wrong. You're wrong.
You could say it was pure luck, really, so.
See, Liam, you know what Liam said about that? He's heard that, and there's no luck involved, he said.
Really?
He says.
And what would he know? I don't believe it's luck. What's luck? If you're good, you're good, you know what I mean? If you're shit, you're shit. You know what I mean? Like, even bands. I don't think many people get me. I think they get me, but I don't know. I don't get myself.
Liam doesn't even get Liam. Nobody gets Liam. Not even his wife gets Liam. Who would want him anyway?
I'm thinking, you know, I've been a wrestling fan for years. What's so hard about it? I think I could be a wrestler. What, you need like a sexy manager? You need like a name, an image? Maybe like Wild Bill. I could be like a cowboy or something. Yeah, yeah. Bret Hart, I reckon you best stay out of the way of Wild Bill. You hear me talking? Now listen up. I may only be 5'7", I may only weigh maybe 155 pounds, and I know you got the strength, you got the brawn, you got the experience, but there's something that you wish you had that I have. That's Pretty Miss Kitty. Check it out, Pretty Miss Kitty. Give me a kiss here, Pretty Miss Kitty. Atta girl. Bret Hart, you son of a gun, you best stay out of my way when this 7.5 size boot comes across your forehead. You wish you ain't never tangled with Wild Bill.
I'll tell you something, Bret Hart. Prepare to be broken.
That'd be all right. I could do that. That'd be pretty amazing. I think I should be on the...
Wild Bill. Where is he? Where's Wild Bill?
You know, I was only kidding about all that.
Bill.
You're aware of that, right?
Wild Bill.
You know, it was just a joke. 3-time WWF World Champion, 3-time. Twice you held the Tag Team Championship, and also twice you've held the Intercontinental Championship. Well done.
Bill, you know you're wrestling.
Well, I'm a fan of Bret the Hitman Hart.
But,
and if I was to get in the ring with you, you know I'd lose. You know that.
Well, I don't know if you got that nasty feminine manager, female manager there. No, I really pride myself on legitimately being the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. And I don't think that, I don't think anybody can lace my boots up, to be honest with you.
I can see what you're saying, but I don't hear you at all. I don't hear you at all.
This is 8 Arms to Hold You. It was kind of a nod to the Beatles. It was actually the working title for Help, the film Help. And then American Thighs was a little bit of a nod to AC/DC. Okay, now, last summer, the EP was released, Blow It Out Your Ass.
That was a nod to no one.
Well, what the heck was that a nod to?
That wasn't a nod to anyone.
It was a nod
that was
to
something
us.
else that you can't do on television.
Can you?
There's
Can
enough.
you do that on television? Can you do that on television? In Canada?
You know what? They have that in the Aerosmith video, and I think on MTV it's sort of
I know
blurred out.
they do it.
We don't have that, but I don't think we should do that.
Okay, but anyway, that's what it was. It wasn't a nod. It was that.
Well, who are you being mean to there? Anybody?
Sort of like,
We don't
it was
want to say.
a little message to the nasty people in our world.
You are back with Bill, and we're looking at some of my favorite things of the past year, and I can single-handedly pinpoint the one moment that I thought was the best 10 seconds of the entire year. And it happened in April when I went out to Vancouver to visit the X-Files set. No camera, but what I did manage was one picture. That was the single moment that I will remember from this entire year. That would be Gillian Anderson. She, of course, released a video this year with a techno outfit called Hal. And you know what? I think that ranks as one of my favorite videos of the year. So we'll play that one as well as some clips from interviews of some of my other favorite females of this past year.
I don't know if it's a media thing where people talk about this trend where all these women are all coming out now and getting notoriety. Is it frustrating to be what some people might be perceiving as a trend or a movement, that women are all of a sudden getting all this attention?
Well, I guess only time will tell, because...
There's always been women in music, but for some reason people
there's
are
a lot
writing
right
about
now.
it.
I think that I've been asked this question quite a bit lately, and generally my feeling is that I think women are just, in a universal way, coming to their own more, and they have more opportunity, and basically we're equal, and maybe in the past years women didn't feel quite as comfortable with revealing themselves and their skills and their crafts, and now we are, so we're out there just like all the guys, so.
You will kneel before her at her altar in the trees, because they say no matter who you are, she'll bring you to your knees.
Do you feel part of a movement at all?
A little bit, but not one that's going to kind of come in and go out. I think that it's sort of here to stay. Yeah. I think pretty soon it's not even going to be noticed. It's just going to be like people making music very soon. But it's good. I mean, women, they're in touch with their emotions a lot, so I think people are digging that right now.
The way some people are talking about it, though, is if it's some private club.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm in.
Hold up, let's take it from the top. I-Fox gets my swerve on, floors pure rock.
Foxy Brown is here. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here.
How you doing?
I'm okay. Doing
Heard a lot
okay.
about you on my way downstairs.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm very boring. Nobody talks about me.
Yeah, right.
Can I just say that Foxy Brown is very foxy? The pictures do not lie. In real life, just as beautiful.
Thank you.
The album is called Il Na Na. Am I pronouncing that right?
Il Na Na.
Il Na Na. Now, a couple of people snickered today, and they go, "You can ask her about the album title." And they kind of snickered. I went, "What?" And they go, "Ask her about the album title." Is it something that we can talk about, Il Na Na?
Well, it's self-explanatory, I think. I think Il Na Na can be anything. As far as my personality, it can be anything. But people have a misconception of what it is, so I kind of let them run with it.
I have never heard it before.
Really? It's Il Na Na, and they kind of think that it's your private part, but I let them run with it. You know what I mean? Hey, if that's what you think, then that's what it is.
We talked to Van Halen recently. You can expect a brand new Van Halen record around February, March of '98 with brand new singer Gary Cherone, okay? Now, like I said, we talked to them a little bit earlier this year. You'll see that interview as well as some other interviews with some classic rockers on this Best of '97. I would think 2, sometimes 3 generations of people.
Well, let's say kids, people then, you know. I just say, I mean, when I get on stage, there's just an ocean of people, and I go, oh, he's 42, he's 17, he's 41, he's 23. I don't care. It's just phases, and they're all my kids. They're all, I mean, I'm nearly 50, and I often think to myself, how does a guy of 50 supposed to react? How does one? I mean, I don't know about yourself, but now and again I have occasion to run into old school friends, and I go, man, what happened to you, you know? Where did the bald head come from, and the big beer belly, and the ulcers, you know, and the wife yakking down your ear, you know, and, don't have too much to drink, we gotta drive. I'll go and take a hike.
I've got a great thing with me. The success it's brought to me is when I get nagged, I just bring out this beautiful gold card and go, shopping.
Yeah, and it works.
It works every time.
It all depends on how you handle yourself, too, with your fans. I mean, you know.
You know, like Mike, he parades around with his bodyguards, you know. He does it all wrong, you know.
I let them sign my autographs for me. I mean, you know.
Even though Gary is quote-unquote the new guy, he comes from basically the same background. We're just blue-collar, working-class people. You know, we grew up no different than anybody else, except everybody has a talent. Our talent happened to be music. And we don't look at ourselves any differently than we did when we were 20 years ago. You've probably heard a lot of people say this, you know, who are so-called stars. You'd be surprised how many are actually down to earth. Because if you're not, then you become part of that illusion, and that'll knock you down. Then you live in an ivory tower, and you don't see anybody, you don't talk to anybody, you don't go out anywhere, unless you're surrounded by, like I said, like bodyguards.
Hey, I had a hard
and you're
time
out of touch.
I had a hard time finding a clean shirt to wear this morning. I'm a rock star.
I'm afraid of America.
When the album first came out, there was a big hype surrounding the record as, you know, Bowie's now dabbling in drum and bass and techno.
Dabbling.
It's techno influenced. But listening to
Where
it,
were they when we put outside?
There's a great mix of the organic sounding guitars of Reeves.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think what we're doing, what we're still doing, is really unlike anybody else. It's certainly influenced by dance vocabulary. We would be the first to admit that, but we like that kind of, particularly the drum beat side of it, very much indeed. But I think what we're doing, the hybrid that we've created, is, I feel, a very positive direction for us to go as a band. And really, there's virtually nobody else doing it.
Looking back at the whole thing, does it ever cease to amaze you how much you've accomplished?
I've certainly the kind that I've worn some trousers probably that done their part in changing the world. My trousers have changed the world. I should really change my trousers more, but
I've been meaning to talk.
What was your question?
Reese has to elaborate, but you know, you got 10 seconds to elaborate on what he just said.
Trousers? Well, I think it was more the shoes.
It's the shoes.
There. See,
he's got to feed it.
Package.
Stinky weather.
Refugee camp in your face,
in the hit it in the house.
Yeah.
You are presenting?
Yes.
So how does that work? Do you just get a phone call and they say come to Monaco and give an award away?
That's exactly how it happens.
Because of the experience of just being here, you said yes to it?
Yeah, I really like it. I mean, I'm very a down-home kind of country girl. You know, I mean, I dress up to go to work and stuff, but my life is pretty low-key. So when they asked me to come here, I'm like, okay, I'll live off Ritzy for 2 days and then go back home to being a down-home girl. So it's fun.
Okay, have you seen the latest Details issue?
I sure have. It's an ugly girl on the cover, isn't it?
No, beautiful. You know what's funny is I read it on the plane coming here.
Oh, really?
So you would date a guy like me, a regular?
Totally. If you treated me good.
I would.
You wouldn't be intimidated by people interviewing me.
Is this romantic for you?
Oh my God, you're the one.
Liar. That would be Tyra Banks from the World Music Awards earlier this year, and that's another good thing about working here at MuchMusic. The amount of traveling, it's a great thing. Right now what we're going to do is give you a video by Moist. This is, well, Canadian music in general really came into its own this year, but got to say congratulations to Moist. Their latest album achieved multi-platinum status this year. Here's Moist on the Best of 97.
A lot of these kids are today wearing the baggy wrap pants and getting their eyebrows pierced, you know what I mean?
Like the guy in 7-Eleven.
You got pierced stuff on you?
Well, I got my ears, though. I've had my ears done for a long time.
Pierced ears?
Yeah. Okay. That's okay, isn't it? Well, look at my waist comes where it should be, though.
Yeah, that's right. Your underwear's not hanging out.
My underwear's not hanging out either.
See, I wouldn't have a problem with white kids pretending to be black rap stars if there were black kids dressing up like Michael Bolton, but there's not, okay? It doesn't exist. There are no black kids running around like trying to be Kenny G, you know what I mean? It just doesn't happen. The white kids got sucked into this idea, and the black kids are like, go ahead, yeah, go ahead, yeah. You know, people are going to point fingers. I was talking to somebody about this before and think I'm like this old guy who doesn't like, you know, I'm getting old, I don't like new music. Here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to save you kids money, okay? Because I'm guaranteeing you right now, and take this from me, I went through the punk and new wave thing. You know what? 20 years later, the Sex Pistols still suck, okay? And the Clash is still great. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you're not going to be listening to Chemical Brothers and thinking, let me listen to it one more time, because I think I missed some of the subtleties, okay? And the guy from Prodigy is going to be completely bald and working in a 7-Eleven someplace. So take my advice and listen to Tricky and Radiohead and buy those albums, because you'll still be playing those albums 20 years from now, and you'll be taking all the pierced stuff out of your eyebrows, and you'll be wearing pants where the underwear doesn't hang out, okay?
You've gotten precious metal, gold or platinum from the States. I guess.
Yes, went platinum.
From Canada. Most bands look at that and would kind of downplay that for fear of being called sellouts. You welcome the fact that you can sell a lot and impact a lot of people's lives because you have worked for it.
Well, I mean, anybody who's ever signed a record contract or basically picked up the guitar, I believe has had that fantasy of wanting to make music and get it out to the masses. I mean, that's what you're doing. You know, anybody who does a business and makes a product is trying to do that. It might sound like sort of like a sellout attitude, but I mean, this is a hell of a lot better than driving in a van and showing up with 2 people there, you know. I hear people say about, you know, touring's rough or, you know, this and that, or interviews are rough. And I've yet to see the bad part. I mean, this success is new for Sugar Ray. It's been about 5 or 6 months, you know.
So 3 years from now, you're like, oh, no,
yeah,
not another interview.
I'm not talking to Bill. MuchMusic, forget it, you know. And then 1 year later, I will be in Poland playing to 20 people going, hey, Bill, anybody? You know, so you got to keep your feet on the ground. You got to stop and smell and pick the flowers and enjoy it, because it can be short term, it can be long term. It's just, I think it's how you massage it.
The summer of '97 will be remembered as the summer of Semi-Charmed Life. Huge hit this summer.
A little song about speed junkies in San Francisco. Who would have thought?
Just a little ditty. That and maybe M-Bop. Songs that, no, I'm just kidding. But that is a huge.
There you go.
That is a huge.
Totally underrated.
Yeah, they really are.
But that song is like one of the songs of '97. You had no idea how many people that song would have reached prior to its release, I guess. You have no idea. You can't.
We didn't think it was going to get played actually on the radio at all, because it's, although it has this sort of bright sheen to it, Semi-Charmed Life is really a very dark song about this decline of this relationship due to speed addiction, and it's really sort of this cautionary tale, and it's got fairly graphic, you know, sexual references to it and drug references. So it really just goes to show that like free speech is still alive, you know, because we really didn't think it was going to get played much on the radio at all.
Okay.
But it did.
This is nice. Thanks a lot. This is cool. They wouldn't let us do this in that inferior American station.
Yeah, well, you know what? They're running scared now because we're in the U.S.
Stop bragging, Bill.
I'm sorry.
I'm not going to sit here and listen to you boast.
Canadians have an inferiority complex. Any way we can plug ourselves, we will.
I'll plug
are you happy with the current?
I'll plug any. I'm going to just say this. I'll plug any Canadian, man or woman.
I don't know if we should go there. What does that mean? Plug any.
Plug. Give you a plug. God, you know.
Are you happy with the level of ska's popularity right now, or do you want to see it go through the roof?
It's fine with me. I don't care what. We don't really pay attention to trends or fads or anything that's fashionable, except for fine menswear. But other than that, whatever. You know, we were the Bosstones for so many years. We've been doing this. When we started doing this, that song "Cherry Pie" by Warrant was on the radio. Yeah, so you know, and then grunge came and went. We're just kind of really interested in being ourselves and being the Bosstones, so.
That's it for my favorite stuff of the year. I gotta say thank you for watching, not only today, but all year, because you know, we can't do what we do here if it wasn't for you there watching, so we appreciate it. Coming up right now, we'll give you a little bit of live of one of 3 visits they had to the Much environment. But first, the Stone Temple Pilots regrouped as talk show. Here's a little bit of a look. Thanks for watching. Was it going to be just a side one-off project at the beginning?
No, it was never perceived as that in our minds. You know, many more records to come.
It was a long time coming because we'd never wanted it to be a side project. We always wanted it to be something that we could do 110% without any distractions. And because with SDP there was always so many distractions, just kind of fueled it more that we had to really do this. And a couple years in the making, and then here it is.
You could see what was going to happen before it came. Is that true? Were there signs? When did you see the end of the Pilots?
I don't know if it's the end, but it sure is not in any of our minds right now.
that camp where, you know, we're really excited about this record.
So you guys have to deal with a lot, just sort of muddling through it and keeping
Not
your
anymore.
mouth shut.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's you don't want to say the wrong things, and you don't want to, you know, somebody from the outside really can't get a grasp on really what's going on internally. I don't know if they really need to, but I think from doing the last week of press and being asked things like when's the next SDP record or when are you guys going to tour, I think way more importantly than that, it's a matter of someone getting their life together.
Will you call her a friend? Will you call it freeze? Will you call them gods?
I don't know. Chemistry is certainly important. I think first and foremost with us, it all starts with friendship. I don't think that we'd be the same band had we like auditioned each other or something like that. Well, I guess we're sort of rare in the fact that we actually sort of grew up together and happened to play the instruments that made up a rock and roll band. But I can't help believe that that doesn't, you know, sort of aid us on stage.
Definitely. It almost seems like fate sometimes because, you know, you're all from the same small town and you're still friends and you're still out there and you have all this huge success all over the world. It's a great story.
It's a weird dream sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, we definitely, I mean, the song Rattlesnake was sort of coping with that. The fact that, you know, we come from such a, you know, nowheresville place, you know, and here we are doing this pretty extraordinary life. So it causes one to ponder.
They just can't stand love, won't stand tall. Come on, come on, come on.
We have Holly. Holly's sitting right next to me. What's your question?
If you could give one message to everyone, what would it be?
Love. Love. Yeah.
Do you like that? Do you like that? That was a good answer. That was a great answer. He said love. Give me a hug here, Holly. Love.
Oh, look at that.